just wanna Dallas. Think I need a new dream with you. Oh, think I need a new high. Call me in the twilight, light. So much on my mind, tell you, baby. So much on my mind, can we waste a little time? Oh, can we waste a little time? She's to all the mental lies I had to be without. I want the peace, just wanna see my niggas out the drought. I want to sleep. Heard my name was in their mouth, they want to be. I ain't playing both the bounce, I want the keeps. Remember seeing all this shit when I was asleep. I've grown out of petty dreams of dynasties. So much on my mind, tell you, baby. So much on my mind. Can we waste a little time? Oh, can we waste a little time? Said it's been on my mind. Sometime tonight, baby. Sometime tonight. Sometime tonight, baby. Sometime tonight.
That was Sonny Miles on the track. Shout out to WNC Youth Voices, who is joined in here with us. Shout out to Kamaya. Love you. We have our producer, Lily. How is everyone doing?
Everything I see, this happiness can't be this real. You make me feel like three.
We have Sonny Miles up here.
Your heart in winter when I'm outside. You are my center. You're my saint.
Let's go ahead and get started then.
I can't wait to tell my folks about you. Yeah. And even when I'm down, I couldn't doubt you. Yeah. You love me now.
Hello.
Going on? How you living?
How are you? I'm good.
I'm good. We making it through.
I love it. So for everyone just joining in, welcome. This is Changing Channels by WNC Youth Voices. I am Caitlin Leggett, and today I am here with singer, rapper, poet, visual artist extraordinaire, the Sonny Miles. Thank you so much for joining in with us today. Please give him all the love he deserves. And let's go ahead and jump into it. So, your real name is Jordan Williams. Sonny Miles is your stage name. So where does the name come from?
It's a combo between Sonny Stitt and Miles Davis. Kind of like an little ode. When I made the name, I was super into jazz. I guess I still am into jazz, but yeah, I don't know. It stuck. I say the name to people, they'd be like, word, okay, word. Like, okay.
It just rolls off the tongue. The tribute to the greats. Okay, so with that being the case, who is Sonny Miles to Jordan Williams?
Like an outlet. I think it's more of a space I can channel, place I can go, a little journey.
Okay.
I don't know. I think a lot of people, they still know me as like Jordan, or I guess they met me as Jordan, so they're almost interchangeable, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess it's like a little outlet. I think of it like that.
Okay, so a little happy place you can go to. So, with that being said, how did you get your start in music? Because your beginning is a little different from most people who've been singing their entire lives.
The best explanation was I started singing a cappella in my senior year of high school. Um, yeah, and I don't know. I was always my friend. He used to always be like, "Well, no one's told me I'm bad, so I guess I might as well keep going." And I think it was kind of the same. I did pretty much did that all senior year, and then I picked up a guitar at the end in like May 2014. I was playing a lot that summer, just like playing and stuff. Um, I got to NC State. They had Black Symposium. That was crazy,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I was just uplifted. You know what I'm saying? It was just like
Mhm.
crazy. So after that, I think things just kept going. So that's like the best explanation.
Okay, but thinking back to the very beginning, what was that she was like, "Oh, I can sing." What was that start for you?
Hmm. I used to always sing in my car, like quite a bit.
Mhm.
Um, just going like back and forth to school and stuff. I don't know, I never really like sang openly. I was never really
Mhm.
singing openly, but I'd be trying riffs and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'd be trying little runs. Um, I don't know. I guess you don't really know what you can do.
I think you cut out a little bit.
But yeah.
Okay, okay. So, what would you say started to make you take music seriously?
Hmm. Man, when I was in acapella in college, we were doing crazy stuff. It was like I got in the group like the 20 something of August, and we had a competition like the 16th of September. So we had 3 rehearsals a week for like 3 hours a week, and that was just the norm. And then we'd have like 2 gigs a week at times. So you and like when you're doing competitions, I guess you have to take on the same kinds of mentalities that everybody else is having, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they're seniors or like
Hmm.
juniors, they're older, they're not playing around, so like you can't really play around. Like you got to get on your
Right.
P's. I guess it's just the energy or the standard, you know, you always have like teachers got to set a standard early, same thing.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, it just kind of forced me to be like, all right, I can do this. But I think there was an innate discipline too. Like
Hmm.
over time, I really began to understand, okay, like if I want to do this, just keep doing it, you know. Um, and eventually, just doing it for fun kind of turned into a habit.
Hmm. So, would you say, especially being around a lot of those people have probably been singing and were probably used to performing and matching tones and melodies and all of that, would you say you picked it up quite well, or did it take you a lot of work?
Mm. Repetition is the father of learning. It took a little bit. I think I was pretty solid in it by December of 2014, just because I don't know when you're kind of thrown into the fire of not being able to be bad
Hmm.
or like not messing up. Don't get me wrong, like you can mess up, but it's also like you have enough of those situations where you have to be on it.
Hmm.
Eventually, you just get used to having to be on it until it's
Hmm.
like, all right, here we go.
Okay, so especially a choir sound is quite different from maybe a style that you would pick up for yourself. So, how would you say singing in that Black Symposium kind of influenced your own sound?
Oh man, I'll never forget. I was playing on like the 1 and 3, and I remember they started clapping on the 2 and 4. I was like, oh, okay, that's how I'm supposed to be playing this. So it was like it was crazy. I had to make like a real switch in the middle. I'd say the support of black people really just kept me up.
Hmm.
Like it made me just be like, whoa. My friends always tell you I'd be looking down when I be singing or I'd be closing my eyes and stuff. So to hear and to see support, I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. So I don't know, it was cool. Like it was cool. I don't know, just having their support kind of changed it. I think just always being around people to where singing and like really doing music was a participatory.
Hmm.
That's the word. I don't know. It was always just involving other people, and I think I always had that innately in me.
Hmm.
Um, I like to work with others. I really like to keep a lot of people around me.
Hmm.
I don't know. Singing's like let's all do it type.
Okay, so that performing aspect of it, you seen you perform at Summer in the Carolinas. You collabing with other artists, which was really amazing. But what is performing like for you?
When I just have to sing, it's so much fun. When I have to play and sing, it's a little bit like, all right, let me get it together. When or when I'm playing guitar and singing. When I'm playing drums and singing, it's like, all right, let's do it. Like I had we had a show at the Eno Fest. Shout out Eno Fest. And unfortunately, just circumstances didn't permit, and our drummer wasn't able to make it. And it was like the day of. It was like Sunday, and I was like, all right. So, like, I was just calling, like, seeing what we could do. They already had a drum set, so I didn't have to worry about playing drums. But like, I don't know. You just do things enough to where if you got to do something, you just got to
Hmm.
do it. And I don't know. It's relieving when I'm sharing the stage with people. I would prefer to always be with people, like a band. I don't like to do things alone. You can, but like energy and being able to feed off of others.
Hmm. Filling the stage by yourself has got to be a lot, honestly. But you have many talents, from poetry to rap to singing to guitar to even the visuals. You really do it all. So, what would you say is your favorite medium if you had to just pick one over all of them?
I love mixing. I really got to get better. I love mixing. I think that's where my discipline came in. When I really got bit with the bug,
Hmm.
um, I guess that would be a mixing, but audio engineering.
Hmm.
Mainly because I was I just learned this. My friend told me this, but I'm pretty relentless.
Hmm.
And when I'm told that I can't do something and it's like something I love to do, like being told no is one thing, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to do it. But being
Hmm.
told like when it comes to your passions, like you can't do that or like you might not be able to do that or maybe that's not for you. I'm like, shouldn't have said that because like I could just do this. Like I can learn.
Hmm.
But yeah, I started mixing in 2018 for real. And that's like, I got to do it every day for real. Like, I enjoy singing a lot. I would never stop enjoying singing.
Hmm.
And I like playing too. I just got to get better. But like mixing,
We love the hidden talents. We love the hidden talents, especially the ones we have to work for. So, thinking of that being able or being told that you can't do certain things during the pandemic, you were not able to do live music. What was that like for you?
I definitely discovered how much of a homebody I can be if need be. I don't mind being at the crib for real. I'm like, we can chill, bro. We ain't
Hmm.
even got to do nothing, bro. I think not having money in that kind of way, right,
Hmm.
was difficult. But I think God provided a way of escape. Full transparency, nobody was Lyft driving. So I was just the only guy out here Lyft driving. And being back at home in Winston, you'd think it'd be the other way around. Like, I used to struggle getting rides in Raleigh. Like, I used to struggle. And then I got to Winston and nobody was doing it. I was like, okay. So it was just like being home and you didn't really want to be home, but you're like, oh, this is a crazy benefit. Um, the affordability to slow down.
Hmm.
I didn't watch as much TV as I think I should have watched, but like, I don't know. I just got a chance to like not do anything, and I think that's like so good.
So it was like a break from a lot. And what would you say that did for your music?
Probably went in too many circles. Probably got way too in my head. Everything turned around. I wasn't really making music like that, my G. Like, I was not making music. I put out Catalabs in February, and then I just
Mm-hmm.
stopped for real. I didn't do anything like March through September.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met Supernova, and he came through October, and then that's when everything just like, boom. It's just like, oh, you produce, like, come through, like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So at the end of the year, everything was turning. Like Senior Bennett, he would come through. Debbie would be through a lot. Akira, just like so many, just everything started again. So it was a good break, but it was cool.
Okay. So now we into producing, into mixing. So what is it about this producing and this mixing that really attracts you?
Good questions. Engineering is like math. I was never good at math. So to be able to like mess with numbers and frequencies, to be able to see and hear a difference. I think one thing I had to learn after like watching all these master classes was like, I don't know, oftentimes we mix by sight. We like
Mm-hmm.
edit by sight. And you need to be like editing by ear. So to
Mm-hmm.
be able to like carve out a certain frequency and to hear the difference is like so cool. And then to be able to like put things where you want them and to like make a world. I think the worst thing about producing, depending on who you are, and I guess if you're
Mm-hmm.
anything like me, you're just like, why doesn't this sound like what I wanted to hear? So then you just start
100%.
messing with stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you hear something on the radio, you're like, oh man, that sounds amazing. And then you make your own beat. You're like, why does it sound like trash? Like, what
Mm-hmm.
is wrong with this? And then like, I don't know why this is the best example. I don't think he's the best example, but like someone like Dr. Dre, you go back and listen to some of his things with certain equipment or like certain monitors, and you'll be like, I didn't even know there was like a cowbell there. Oh, like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know how that like panned over and moved to the right. Like that's crazy. So it just makes you so intrigued. It's like this
Mm-hmm.
never ending door. You just keep opening it and you just keep learning every day. And I think the coolest thing about mixing is there's no rules. Like no one can tell you what to do. All you gotta do is just
Mm-hmm.
do it. So that was long, but yeah.
No, I think that's very understandable, especially for a lot of even our producers at WNC. They go through the same thing, mixing through stories and everything. You want to cut on people's breaths and not cut people's words out and all of the same things, but you have to play it by ear. So a lot of our own know exactly what you're talking about. Shout out to our youth reporters. They're gonna learn all of that. Okay. Again, thinking going back to this year that we had in 2020 one more time, the year honestly could have been an album in itself. But how did 2020 affect you as an artist as well as a black man?
Mm. It was. I look at it like almost an inescapable awareness. If you didn't know what you were doing, what harm you were low key doing, and then what harm was being done to you, if you didn't know it then and you didn't accept it then, I feel like that was the real hurdle. Like money is one thing, but like really working on yourself and like your own problems. Um, we touched on it a little bit, but I think as a black man, especially as a cis hetero black man, and we're seeing it right now with the baby, like just removing yourself a little bit, you know,
Mm-hmm.
understanding, yes, like we understand George Floyd, yes, we understand Breonna Taylor, but there was so much more, like so much more black death that happened that wasn't even like touched on and talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So acknowledging that space and those spaces was super key. um, really just listening and removing myself. I know I had lots of conversations with my brothers just about my own faults, where we can improve. The
Mm-hmm.
money that I did have, where can this go to? Like I was in an advantageous position. okay, what can I do with what I have? What can I do with the resources? Okay, maybe I don't have anything, but can I share something?
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, I don't know. It was a toughie. Um, I know May and June specifically. I understand why I didn't make no music because I think every day I was just watching the news, kind of just like going back in the same like time warp.
Mm-hmm.
And in some respects, I think that was needed. Um, so to have to just sit with myself and to reflect, that was probably the most crucial thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you said you didn't make any music. So, what do you feel like that you did for you and as well as your music?
Hmm. I know Moss put me on to like so much Fred Moten and Sadia Hartman and just like so many black radical thinkers. It was more growing in like what blackness is to me,
Mm-hmm.
what that is in the scope of this world,
Mm-hmm.
like what that really is, and not just this perception you have. Like I could say one thing and he could be like, all right, well, do you know the framework? Like, do you see the framework in which you're looking at it as? Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you recognize there's a fault in that? Or do you recognize what you're doing here? I don't know if you see it, but like, do you? And he wasn't the only one, but I think he's probably just one of a key example. I think there was a lot of challenging in my way of thought and in my narratives of the black community around me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there would be a few gigs like I don't know, man. I was not faultless. Like I was not faultless at all. So it was lots of learning, lots of being humbled,
Mm-hmm.
like, and lots of love after being humbled. Like you know what you just did, right? Come here. You know what I'm saying? You love me. Like surrounding myself in more queer spaces and with more queer thought.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I as obviously I be having my hetero, my fellas around me. So I don't know, just like sometimes we just be ignorant. I don't be thinking about nothing. So it's forced me to be like, whoa, let me stop. Let me stop for a second. And then let me also challenge my homies too, whether or not it
Mm-hmm.
works. It doesn't need to work per se, but you know, just understanding that.
I think that's beautiful. Awareness was something that a lot of people had to deal with during the pandemic on all spectrums, on all sides. And that was something, especially because we were all at home, you had to sit with your thoughts and you had to sit with the news. And it was nothing but awareness on both sides. So I want to give you a little bit of a break for everyone just joining in. This is Changing Channels, and I am Caitlin Leggett from WNC Youth Voices. I am here with the talented, the rapper, the poet, the mixer, producer, the all of the above, the Sonny Miles. Here at WNC Youth Voices, we are part of the larger Youth Reporting Institute. This is a platform that allows us to get in touch with the community around us. Everyone that WNC doesn't normally listen to, talk to, that's who we want to hear from. We want to talk to who you want us to talk to. So please, if you have any suggestions, drop them in the chat, drop them in the comments, in our DMs. Let us know who y'all want to hear from. And again, please show Sonny all the love he deserves. So, getting right back into it, thinking about going back to your music, what is your creative process like?
It used to be smoking weed. Now it's just chilling. I really used to be just doing it. I think now working with other people has been just chef's kiss because I'll just be sitting with people. I'll be like, come over, what I'm saying? We'll get some food. We'll just be chilling, play some beats, like just do whatever you want to do. I don't know. I'm very much like I'm gonna leave you in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna go do something in the house. Um, I'll come back downstairs or I'll go somewhere and be like, yo, what you just play? You know what I'm saying? But I've tried to be as free with my space as I can. Like Supernova, he'll tell you like he came through one time And like, you know, I had my mic and everything ready. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go to bed. Like, you just do what you got to do. So if there was a studio kind of Electric Ladyland-esque situation where we could just be in there all the time, I think that is what my process has turned into. It's less of trying to force things to happen and more just like come through, you know what I'm saying? And like, or let's talk about life. Let's go through life a little bit. And before you know it, there we have something to talk about. I think another huge thing that I didn't want to do a lot of last year, just because it's like, it's a fine line. But, you know, I think last year was the perfect time to talk about Black issues. But it was kind of a hard line for me because I didn't want to ever come across as like pandering. And I think that was skewed a little bit. Some people made awesome art, but there was also some crazy opportunities in which I can't really go too in depth of. But like, you know, there was an incentive to make politicized music. And I'm like, that's real. That's real. But I'm also like, it was tough. And I felt like the order I should be making more is like, okay, what can I do for resources? Like, because I can sing about Blackness like I was singing about 2.5 years ago. I could sing about that tomorrow. But when it's starting to be incentivized by capital and just like, hey, do this thing. And like, it was tough. It was a tough moral thing for me. So a lot of it now has just been like, okay, what have I learned in reflection? And then how can I actually apply this as opposed to just like spitting some fake theory that I kind of know about a little bit and then just being like, oh, look at me, like I'm woke now. I'm nah.
I think that's very understandable. And thinking along those same lines, so where would you say you pull your inspiration from?
Gospel music for sure. Funk music. I got really into Parliament Funkadelic before 2020 hit. It was like a
Okay.
bug. I couldn't explain it. It was such a bug. Um,
So we talking like Sly and the Family Stone, all of okay, okay. You know something? You know something.
I don't know. Things that are just liberating and freeing. I watched a lot of live concerts last year in full, and I would just sit and watch what they would do. Or like watch what they would wear. Like, what are they talking about? Like, what does real freedom music kind of look like for me? I was always a fan of Prince, but like, you don't really get the rhetoric until you like sit with it a little bit. And then you go back and look at where he got it from. And so I think so much of it for me starts with gospel music. Like I love like Ricky Dillard and like he goes by B Slade now, but he used to go by Tone. Just amazing artists who are just super like left field. But yeah.
Okay, okay. So what was one of those concerts that you watched in full?
There's a Parliament Funkadelic show from Houston, Texas in 1978. It was like right around the time they started having like a spaceship land. And you see like the Brides of Funkenstein up there. Everybody's just wearing rear clothes. Like someone's wearing a diaper. Like, and they just going for it. It's just like, wow, y'all going for it, ain't you? I don't know. It's hard to look away. I got super into a lot of house music last year. That was fun. So like seeing some DJ sets, that'd be cool. Stuff like that.
Okay, I like it. I like it. So thinking about the same thing, a lot of those concerts and those songs that they were singing had very, very complex meanings behind them. So would you say that you have maybe a song or two that just it hits a little different because of what it's about?
I think when I made it, I was really rocking. I still love it. Let me not cap. But Good Lovin' in the West is probably one of those. It was more like look at all these bad things going on. As they tell us, it's, everything's cool. That was at the height of Trump just being Trump. And I think that one kind of strikes a chord for me. I like that one. I like that one and the kids. I think those always be hitting for me. Just
Okay.
because I don't know. I like to talk about the world around me too.
Okay. So often, especially as artists, we go through phases, right, in our life. So if you were to name, each phase or chapter of your life in a song title, what would it be?
Oh, my life or just music?
Let's we can separate the two. Let's start with music.
Okay. With music, let me see. I think the first phase is like, I guess, exploration. Um, Maybe like crawling. I don't know. I think once I graduated from state, I feel like I had different names. I'd probably call it like falling, just because I was in the abyss of like the mercy of life. Let's just see what happens. So I guess like falling and trusting, but getting really disciplined. I think 2020's phase or that era, that chapter, I guess like reflecting, debriefing. Um, I feel as though now, especially today, maturation, graduation. Um, I feel like it's finally coming around. Everything
Okay.
is kind of like coming around.
And what would you say about for life?
Man, I think I'm in phase two for real. I don't even think I'm gonna do music my whole life, but like I didn't know I could do music till I was 18, bro. I didn't know what I was doing. I was running track. Like I don't even know. So it's like I don't know. Maybe when I'm 30, 32, if we see it, pray we stay protected and covered. Pray we have resources. But if I see it, I don't know. I might go do something else. I don't know. I'd love to go travel. I'd love to pick up a new trade. Um, I want to keep expanding and trying things. I've gotten super into short films. That was another thing I did. I'd love to go back to school. I don't know how important. Well, I think school is important. I think learning and being taught is important. But like, I'd
Mm-hmm.
love to go back to some sort of school, some form of like learning and education.
Mm-hmm.
Um, See the world from a different lens, learn some new languages. But I think I'm in phase two. I think this is just phase two.
Okay. So, okay, getting back to your music a little bit. You talked about those different chapters. So, what would you say if you were looking at maybe in terms of what you were writing about in your music? What are the differences in those?
I wasn't talking about nothing in the beginning. I just be talking. I had a lot of like alliteration and poetry and stuff, but I wasn't really like talking about myself. And then that next phase, I was just talking about what I saw. And I think now I'm talking about myself and bearing myself, truly bearing who I am. I think whoever said it, bro. But you be like the best writers are the ones who be living, and like you
Mm-hmm.
just got to live through life a little bit to really talk about something. Um, I don't know. My favorite writers are like 30 plus, or when they hit 30, they be like, boom, that's crazy. Um, I think it's rare to find some like 20 plus or 20-year olds that's writing about something crazy unless they've lived such a life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now it's just like talking about in earnest me and like what I actually feel and like who I actually am and being relatable in that way. I think it's one thing to have a gift and to be good and people to recognize that. It's another thing for people to really feel where you're coming from and who you are. I think that's like another threshold, and that's where I want to be at.
So, we're getting introduced to Jordan Williams, to Sonny Miles, all of the above.
I think more so Jordan. I
Okay.
I think it's Jordan. I think a lot of my friends know who I am,
Mm-hmm.
and like I think it's time for people to have a better insight. I'm always much better in person just because I'm just like dummy earnest. But it's hard to gauge that through social media. It's hard to even get that impression. I don't like really being on social media and things like that. I know it's a necessity, yes, but it hasn't been the easiest to be earnest about who I am through social media. Sometimes I'm just like, let's just hang out, like, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Pull up, bro. So yeah, I think more Jordan.
Well, I think we are all looking forward to meeting Jordan Williams. So, with that being said, what is next for Jordan Williams and Sonny Miles?
Jordan Williams needs to get healthy. I need to sit my tail down.
Mm.
This has forced me to stop. Um, my hand is okay. My body is okay. It is a miracle. So I deem this as my second life, really, and my second opportunity. I try not to be too deep about things like this, but I think the magnitude of the trauma is something I need to allow myself to feel, A, and then just sit. But not before I have this show. I need to have this show this coming Friday or next Friday. That's going to be crazy. I'm really looking forward to that. That's like the next big thing. I would love to see everybody there just because we on that miracle time now. Like,
Okay.
you know,
Okay, so again, I want to give you the chance to plug yourself. Where can we keep up with you? Keep up with this show that's coming up.
you can find me, follow me on, really on Instagram. I really don't be on Facebook. I kind of be on Twitter, but I just be liking stuff. But Instagram, I'm like there. Sonny 4 Miles, FOR Miles, spelled regular. Um, yeah, the tickets are available in the that's a wasp. The tickets are available in the link. And then for those who have given to the GoFundMe, thank you so much. I have a very hard time asking for anything. So people's graciousness has been like crazy. Um, it's really hard to fathom. So, if you do feel so led, I have absolutely exceeded my goal. Um, I still want to give to other people. You know what I'm saying? Some people have been like, just hold. It's tough. I don't know. We'll get there. But, if you feel so led to give to that, thank you. But just please come to the show. Please come through. DL Zine, Sianka, Lisa Sianka. We will all be live and direct. There will be a live band. It'll be at the Poorhouse. Doors open at 8. The show starts at 9. Um, yeah. So come through. Pull up, bro. Bring all your friends and your family. Get a vaccine, please, God. Um, and stay safe with love.
Thank you so much for being here with us. This was, I feel like, enlightening. I hope y'all feel it was enlightening. Please give Sonny all the love he deserves. And thank you again for being here with us.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you, Kevin.
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank everyone for tuning in with us. Again, this is Changing Channels, and we are here with WNC Youth Voices. I am Caitlin Leggett. I want to thank everyone for joining in. And please remember, this is all in conjunction with WNC Youth Voices, where we have an amazing listening party coming up on August 7th. All of our youth reporters will be jumping off their stories. They will be previewing. They will be giving y'all all the intel on what they have been working for all summer long. Please, again, you can go hit the link and WNC Youth Voices in our bio or at WNC.org. Again, August 7th, go show our youth reporters some love. Thank you so much.